Today we're going to talk about monopolistic competition. So, monopolistic competition is defined as a market structure in which many firms sell to the same group of consumers. The products are similar but not identical. From this definition we can extract several key features. The first one is the most obvious one, which is that there are many sellers selling to the same group of people. This is a very important feature because it will followingly lead to a very intense competition amongst the sellers. The second key feature will be the product differentiation. Product differentiation can be on several parts of a wide scale. Of course, it can be entirely different products, such as the difference between Chinese food and Italian food. However, it could also be simply a difference in perception of the consumer on the product sold. Let's take supermarkets, for example. Marks & Spencer's has got a perfect reputation of high-quality goods, and Aldi not so much the case. Let's imagine that both supermarkets are selling the exact same loaf of bread, so an identical product. The consumer is likely, therefore, to see the Marks & Spencer's bread as being superior, despite the fact that it's the same loaf of bread, simply due to its reputation of quality. This is, of course, where branding and advertisement comes in, which will then lead to a more intense competition between firms. The next feature is the negative relationship between the price and the quantity of supplied products to the market. This means that the greater the supply of products, the lower the price will be. Lastly, we're going to look at the free entry and exit of firms into the market. This is crucial because this is really what brings the similarities of monopolistic competition to perfect competition. When there is a surplus or a profit to be made by firms, this will attract other firms to enter the market. However, when firms enter the market, the quantity supplied to consumers will rise, thus decreasing the price. Consequently, the profits will decrease until eventually leading to a loss. When it arrives at a loss, firms will be able to exit the market, thus steadying the balance to an equilibrium of profits that average zero. Now we're going to look at the attitudes of these of such firms in the short term, and how they take on a monopolistic attitude, and later on in the long term, and how they more resemble perfect competition. So in the short term, a firm that arrives in the market is able to set its own price, as it is differentiated by the consumers. It will therefore take a stance on profit maximization. However, as we have seen, due to the free entry and exit of the firms, this will not last. On the long term, the profits will go down to zero, which is exactly what happens in perfect competition. The difference, however, is that there will always be profit made by the supplier. Let's take, for example, nightclubs. When a new nightclub is made, he would decide the price to be paid for by consumers. However, when its competition will try to affect it, it will be forced to decrease this price. The difference between perfect competition and monopolistic competition is that whilst in perfect competitions, the marginal cost is equal to the marginal revenue. This means that there is no profit to be made. Whereas, for example, in nightclubs, in which there is a monopolistic competition, every firm will try to get as many as many consumers as possible, because the marginal cost is less than the marginal revenue. So, for example, the cost of one extra person coming into a nightclub will not greatly affect the cost of the nightclub. Thank you very much.